Hi, I'm Rebecca Angelo.
I'm Lauren Blum.
And I'm Craig Gillespie. And today we're going to share some surprising and true stories we discovered while making dumb money.
Babe, how much did we make today?
$5 million.
How much did we lose today?
$1 billion.
And yesterday?
$4 million.
And yesterday?
$1 billion.
Wall Street is betting that this company is going to fail. And if it fails, these hedge fund make a ton of money.
One thing we discovered while working on the screenplay for the movie Dumb Money was that Gabe Plotkin, the hedge fund guy we depict, really did buy 2 side-by-side mansions on the waterfront in Miami and tear down one of them to build a tennis court for his family during the pandemic.
Wall Street must be seeing this, right?
Holy
You should probably dial in.
Holy
One surprising thing that is also true that I love that's in the movie is that Vlad Tenev and Baiju Bhatt, who founded Robinhood, actually do have matching Teslas, which you see them drive in the film.
You got rich dudes pissing in their pants right now. They're coming after you.
We need to talk about the GameStop situation.
One thing that popped up late in the game was we saw an article that Steve Cohen actually had a pet pig, that lived in their house for about 10 years, I think it was, until it got too big to be at the mansion, and they put it out on a farm. So it was that has to be in the movie.
GameStop, those shares not stopping.
The stock is only gonna go up. When they hit, I'm gonna buy you a mansion.
Let's drink to that.
My brother is a nerd.
Surprising but true, Kevin Gill, Keith Gill's brother, really did, according to his college newspaper, run a mile naked during a lightning storm, which is depicted at the end of our movie with Pete Davidson.
So stay until the end because there's a great scene there.
You have to testify before Congress. The game has changed.
A lot of people feel the system is broken. The whole idea of the stock market is if you're smart and maybe with a little luck, you can make your fortune.
I think one, really great part of the hearing that is true is when AOC dresses down Vlad Tenev about the commissions on Robinhood and really goes for it there.
It's a great moment, and just to see her break down the logic of what free trading is on Robinhood was wonderful to see.
Yeah.
It's also a moment when Keith Gill really opened up and talked about his family life, his background, his experiences, and about what people were going through during the pandemic, which is really the gist of our film. So it was powerful, I think, to see him speak from the heart the way he did.
70,000 people have watched this video.
Rory Kitty, I love you!
If he's in, I'm in.
If he's in, I'm in.
Our very own director, Craig Gillespie.
Lost money.
How'd you do, Craig?
Yeah.
How much money did you lose?
I don't think it's a surprise that I lost money. My son was involved early on in this in the Wall Street Bets movement, and he was doing extremely well with it and timed it perfectly. He warned me about getting in, and I sort of timed it perfectly right before Robinhood put the freeze on the buy option.
So right before the price craters.
Yes.
Spot high and sold low.
He's a better director than investor, thankfully.
Yo, what up, everybody? Rory Kitty here. I'm gonna pick a stock and talk about why I think it's interesting, and that stock is GameStop.
I love this guy.
I think it was surprising that he's this star athlete, right? You think of someone who's this good at the stock market is on their computer all the time and not physical, and that he had this big running career was shocking. And
he also was like a champion at this card game.
Yeah.
He toured Europe as a teenager playing this card game that he's great at. Keith is one of those guys who's just kind of touched. I think throughout his life, he's been gifted at one thing or another. And the GameStop story is just the latest example.
I mean, within the GameStop story, I was surprised at like the darkest moment in the trading where Wall Street Bets was shut down for 48 hours, and then with the Robinhood situation that happened with the buy option. And he was offline and people were waiting to see what he did, that he didn't sell.
Yeah.
That was a surprise to me, that he actually, in that 48 hours, lost $30 million and still held. And that caused a whole nother rally.
Yeah, he's a man of such conviction.
Yeah.
And also someone who is, doesn't seek fame, doesn't seem to really care about money. He's very, very admirable in all those ways.
Holy
Everything okay?
$11 million? What are you gonna do? Get a Ferrari? What the
Oh, language. The baby's here.
Dano is such a brilliant actor. He's such nuance and complexity to like everything that he does, and such range. The year before he was doing Batman, which was a very, very dark character, and The Fabelmans at the same time. Oddly for me, the role that got me excited for this was Swiss Army Man, and there was this sort of exuberance and naivety to that performance that I felt elements of in the post that Keith Gill would do. It's like, it's such a hard thing to become the focal point and the rallying cry for the online community. They're very skeptical and cynical and quick to cut you down. And there was this earnestness and this authentic nature to Keith Gill's videos that inspired 8 million people to like follow in his coattails. Paul had to capture that. And that's no easy feat as an actor. And to be able to do that balance and have that nuance to like, you know, inspire people and feel like it's genuine, it's like, I think his game was like way out for this.
Yeah. And he captured so many great true moments, like when Roaring Kitty actually dipped a chicken tender in champagne and, you know, talked about the stock. He just, you know, he did it exactly like Roaring Kitty really did.
And, you know, with the writing that these guys did, they were very true to what was actually written. And so was Paul. He was the gatekeeper of like, hey, I saw that he said this in a video clip. Could we try and use that? Could we get that in here somewhere? You know, he really, really dug in deep on the research.
I would say Craig is brilliant at eliciting nuanced performances from actors, and you see it performed one way and you're like, oh, that's genius. And then he'll do another cut and it's a totally different way, and it's also genius. Paul was acting alone in a lot of these scenes. I mean, he was just talking to an online audience, and to see so much emotion and so much depth in his performance when he doesn't even have an actor to play against was incredible.